Hi everyone, I'm your host Anshika Patel, and today we are discussing a topic that's becoming more and more relevant, especially for young people. We are looking at short form video platforms like TikTok transforming the way we consume news. News used to come from TV, newspaper, or official websites, but now it's something we scroll in seconds. So the big question is this making us more informed or just giving us a quick surface level information? To explore this, I'm joined by two guests, Abby and Rishita, who are going to share their thoughts and opinions.
Hi, I'm Abby.
Hi, I'm Rishita, and thank you, Anshika, for having me for your debate today.
Thank you both for being here today. Let's start with a simple question for both of you. How do you personally consume news, and what role does TikTok, a short form video, play in that?
Well, I personally, consume news by BBC or the traditional, like the news thing. But when it comes to TikTok, yeah, I do watch TikTok. I do consume few news from them, but I always double check with the traditional news form. Yeah.
Same goes for me as well. So I consume news across a mix of platforms. Of course, the traditional ones like the BBC, Sky, they are the reputed ones. They are the ones we know the information is correct, it's verified. But we have TikTok as well now, and it's more like a discovery space rather than more like an informative space, to be honest.
Yeah, I would say like TikTok is where I get news, but I don't trust it. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's TikTok is like we know what's trending at the moment.
Yeah.
That's where we can look for trending topics at the moment.
Yeah.
But it's not somewhere that I would rely on that's the exact factual news. Like it because of AI and everything, it's like so made up at the moment. So you cannot really fact check sometimes because you don't know what's real to fact check. But I would say it's a good place to start with for trending topics, but not to rely on it as a news topic.
That's quite interesting. So let's get into the first topic, accessibility. Do you think TikTok has made news more accessible for young people, or has it made more superficial?
Definitely, it made it more accessible. Everyone has a phone, and obviously, everyone has TikTok. That's why people consume news. Yeah. So
I would actually agree with her. It's done both, to be honest. It's taken its own position, but I would say it's made news accessible for everyone, especially the youngsters, I would say, because so many young children right now on platforms like TikTok, they consume media, they make their own things. So it's like it's very accessible for a lot of people now, rather than how it was before in earlier times. It wasn't very accessible to a lot of people. But then in many cases, it's more simplified than it should be. So it's like a duality. It's not just one simple answer to give, but it's definitely more accessible now.
And I guess like the younger people are not watching the traditional form of news. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like people are not watching television to consume news. People are into mobile phones, especially TikToks for news, where like they just go through a reel or a TikTok thing and say, you know what, this happened this day, that day and stuff.
No, I agree.
But they don't get the depth of the news. So in order to get the depth of the news, you got to look into the proper news.
Also, I do agree with that because some of the news are not true as well. So now building on that, let's talk about the attention span. Do you think the short form video platforms videos have reduced our attention span when it comes to serious or complex news topic?
Well, I gotta be honest. We live in a world called instant, where we need everything instantly. For example, coffee, we need an instant coffee. We need an instant noodles. We need everything instant. We don't have patience. Like,
True.
come on, it's 2026.
True.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with her. Yes, and I'll say not just to a certain degree, but to a lot of extent, we have like a very short attention span at the moment because there have been studies that prove that scientifically, the more shorter the version becomes on like Reels, on TikTok or anything like that, on social media platforms, as long as it becomes shorter, our attention span gets shorter again.
Yeah.
So it's like it's proportional to each other. You cannot really go one hand with that and go another hand with that. It's like it's directly proportional to one another. The more you make it short, the more the attention span gets shorter. So it's absolutely yes for me.
For example, like there used to be movies for 3 hours, 2.5 hours. Now it's just like 90 minutes. It's just 90 minutes and they call it as movie. I was like, okay.
No, but I would say when it comes to movies, we still can sit there and watch movies for 3 hours. Sometimes, if it's an interesting movie, I can watch and sit there for like 3 hours. But if it's not a good movie, I'm like, I cannot sit there and watch 3 hours.
Just, scroll through my phone.
Exactly.
That's how my attention
That's
is.
the thing. That's the thing. Like when you're watching one media, you're like watching another media again. So it's like it's not one thing. Yeah.
So that links quite well to the idea of trust now. Do you trust the news you see on TikTok or any other social platforms? If you, why or why not?
Obviously, no.
No. No, saying no.
Big no. Because AI.
Exactly.
Because we can't even trust a video on TikTok or other social media platform because, like, firstly, it is really hard to identify whether it is an AI generated thing or it's really happening and stuff. And that's why we cross check through different thing until unless like I see the news, it's repetitive and stuff. Yeah, I cross check with the traditional media, but no way I'm posting things on social media.
No, of course not. You cannot really trust us. It's like it's a good entry point, but it's not the final source of any news because they're not journalistic piece of media. It's more like people opinions and something they can create. Like she said, it's AI generated. People can create it by themselves, and you don't know what people create and where can start from, or they just had an idea and they wanted to create something, so they use the AI to just create something. So it's a good starting point to see what's happening, but it's not really a final destination for any news.
Because like I remember, I live with my housemates. Okay, so I was coming from uni, I guess, somewhere from out, and one of my housemates was like, "Oh, did you hear this news where Jonathan Bailey said so and so?" I was like, "Oh, really?" And then she showed me the video. I was like, "Oh, this is AI generated," because I follow him on Instagram, and he never said that. And I even went on his Twitter, and I was like, "This is fake." Yeah.
Also, even I have seen few recent news few months ago about Dharmendra not being alive, but he was alive, and after 2 days he passed away. So that was a fake news which I have been scrolling through Insta a lot.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like
It cannot really be said like a fake news. It's like it was leaked before it got published because he did die, right?
No, he was admitted in hospital.
But he's alive, or is he dead now?
He is dead. He
He's
died
dead now.
after 2 or 3 days.
So that's the thing. It's like
It was
leaked.
just assumed.
Exactly. It's like assumption.
But that
made.
assumption does not. It's someone's personal life as
exactly.
well.
and also I feel like more than positive news, there's a lot of negative news on
Negative,
social media.
Exactly. I do
Yeah.
agree with your points.
Yeah.
But there's always like, now you see like on Instagram, I've seen a lot of pages now, because there's always bad news, there's always negative news. There are a lot of pages emerging now saying, here's some positive news of the week. Like they're trying to get the good parts of the internet showing.
Yeah, so sometimes people name their Instagram page as negative memes. Bro, what's this?
Yeah, so that happens a lot. But yeah, there's always like a dual side of everything.
Okay, so let's carry on and talk about the important misinformation. Do you think TikTok spreads misinformation faster than the traditional media?
100% yes. 100% yes. Because of the algorithm and stuff. It always pushes the negative news more than the positive news. I don't know if you agree with this.
No,
but
I agree.
Okay.
Whatever you see, whatever you scroll, whatever you engage with, that's the more it's going to show. So it's all about how you engage with the content, it also like kind of monitors the speed of how you engaging.
Yeah.
So that's something. It's like a new thing it's going to monitor how quickly you like scroll past something, and according to that, it's going to show you what you are interested in watching now. So if you want to see something bad, it's going to keep showing you the bad for the next past 30 days or so. Yeah. So it's definitely misspreading in platform, of course.
And it decides what you watch because of the algorithm and stuff.
Exactly, yeah.
Because let's say I'm stressed about my uni final project, and it always shows like, oh, you're stressed about your coursework, so and so, so and so.
It kind of knows what's going on, you know.
I so do agree. Recently, like my whole feed is with the sad quotes and everything, and I don't know for what reasons. So let's go a bit further. I want to push this a bit further. So do you think it's better for young people to engage with short form news than to engage with news at all? Does it create a false sense of being informed?
Well,
I would say it's better than any disengagement at all. Having some sort of information, what's going on in the world is very important to know what's going around, especially like things like war and everything that's going on. It's it's good that people have a sort of information on what's going on, but it's like it's always, like I said, better than having complete disengagement rather than having nothing at all.
Yeah, but then you can engage with the short videos, but please do double check.
Exactly.
Yeah, go in depth, because the short video doesn't show. It just shows the outline, or maybe it brings up something, but you gotta go in depth.
So basically, you're saying it doesn't give the full information.
Yeah,
it just
yeah.
gives us the
Yeah,
basic.
Exactly.
basic, the
Yeah.
outline of the story.
So it can be true or it can be false.
Yeah, yeah. Until the creator or the influencer, whatever you call, knows the depth of the story, it's
And
fine.
they have like their sources mentioned from where they have the
yeah,
information,
yeah.
then that's how you know that's factual, that's real. But other than that, you cannot really trust them now. And it's also a responsibility of the younger generation that they cross-check with the information. If it's like on BBC or like reputed places like that, then you know the news is there. And then
I don't know if you
it's
guys
true.
hear this. Like, she's an Indian model. I don't remember her name, but she faked her death after
Yeah, I know.
after
That-
like after like 2 days, she was like, "Oh guys, I'm still alive. I just did this for like popularity."
Exactly.
I was like,
exactly.
"Bro,
It was a fake stunt.
Yeah,
It was a
I
fake
was like,
stunt.
"You just
Oh my
made it up
gosh.
because you want to get popular."
Popular. So yeah, people. do
I'm gonna
things like
try
that.
it someday.
Oh, for sure, you would love to. So, just like I'll just link the topic with it, the role of algorithms.
Uh-huh.
How much do you think TikTok algorithm shapes the type of news people see?
Honestly, it really does, because like every week I used to change the algorithm of my Instagram. I don't use TikTok much. I'm more of like an Instagram girl. So
Same.
because in India TikTok is banned. So yeah, I usually change the algorithm because like it always shows a lot of sad and depressing reels most of the time.
Yeah,
so
sometimes, yes.
yeah.
I would say to a very significant amount, it doesn't just reflect the interest. It kind of actively shapes them by curating what people repeatedly use. And sometimes it's just kind of shows you what you might be interested, or like kind of pushes you towards something so that
Yeah,
you can get
strongly agree.
that you can like can get greedy or hungry about watching that. Like
Yeah.
it's like a thirst trap, I want to say. It kind of puts a thirst trap for the audience. Like, do you want to see this, or are you interested? Or they will just do links or things like that.
For
that you
example,
click, yeah.
I really don't want the shoes, okay? But it shows me 6 or 7 reels about the same shoes, and then I'll go on my Amazon to get the shoes. So
Exactly. So
it
it's like
pushes people.
Pushes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay, another angle to consider in citizen journalism. Do you think TikTok has given more people a voice in journalism, or has it blurred the line between fact and opinions?
To be honest, I would say depends, because it does give a lot of creators a space to like, because it's a hard place to get a job at
Yeah.
the moment, especially in our field. It's
Yeah,
very hard.
exactly.
So places like social media platforms are a good place to start your own things and have that popularity, but also have a good place to start a job, because they are usually places like TikTok are paid. So it's like a good place to start, but it also depends on how the creator is presenting the news and what she or he is presenting. So it depends on their content as well. But I would say yes, it's a good place to start, because how bad the job market is.
And also, I guess like the creator or the influencer should take responsibility in sharing
Exactly.
the true and like the fact news, not the negative, or in order to get the popularity and stuff.
Agree. Yeah,
Yeah.
because a lot of them do it for the popularity, of
Yeah.
course. So you need to have something out of the box so that you can engage, you can have followers, you can get the money. So of course,
Because
you
even
have-
in our class, remember our lectures used to say, publish your articles in the
Yeah.
social media platform and stuff. Yeah, it is a good start, but then you have to be really responsible in whatever you share.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
I do agree with that, because there are a lot of things that I've been looking around and online and everything. So I want to bring it a bit slight mode of debate style question now. So do you think TikTok is starting to replace traditional news platform, or do you think traditional media still has a strong role?
I would say now.
Yeah.
And I would say no, because I don't think it will, because traditional media, it still holds the authority when it comes to verification or the accountability of the news or the depth of the news. So I would say, again, I would say it's a good place to start. It's a good starting point, but it's not really going to replace the traditional form news.
I would say like maybe it is trying to replace it.
It's trying, yeah.
It is really fighting every single day, every single minute, to be honest, to replace the traditional form. Because who is watching, bro? Who is? Look at the younger people. Look at the younger people. Everyone is on their phone. Ask to anyone around the campus, do they watch BBC? Do they watch Sky News and stuff? Maybe they go through the articles, but
I think it's like 2 or 3 people out of 10.
Exactly. Badly few people. Like, people should start watching traditional news more often. But in India, it is actually, people consume news by traditional news. But in UK, it's completely different. Everyone is on their phone.
In India as well, I would say it's just the people who are from the old days.
Yeah, I would say like our parents.
Now
are
our
more.
modern timing, I don't think so. Like people watch news on television anymore. So
But
trust
I
me,
was
because
forced to
I
do
have
that.
these experiences. Anyway, let's get forward to it. Is media failing young audience or audience changing their habits?
I would say that the habits are evolving faster than traditional media has adapted, to be honestly. Do you agree,
No comments,
disagree?
bro. No
Agree,
comments.
disagree?
No comment. Next question.
I just really quickly want to know from both of you, would you rely on TikTok during a major global event?
No way. No way.
No.
Come on, we
No.
are journalists. We are not doing it. No.
But I think that's because we are journalists, so we know how.
Even if
how
I'm
it
just
happens.
a random person, I would never do that.
People do that though.
People do
that. That's
Weird
the
people
thing.
do, but not us.
That's
yeah,
the thing.
Yeah.
But the majority of weird people is more than
Yeah,
the
yeah,
intellectual.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, people do that,
Yeah.
but I
you
would
know,
know.
like people educate themselves by watching TikTok or Reels. They'll be like,
Exactly.
this happened in this year and that stuff. And I was like, do you verify it? And I was like, no, it's yours from this Reel or this TikTok thing. I was like, oh, then
I
it's
so
fair.
do agree with you guys,
Yeah.
with Abby especially, because like nowadays, most of people I come across, they are just like, I have more information of news than you. Being a journalist, you don't have more information. And I'm just like, I ask him or her that where do you get that information? They just say on social
It's
media.
TikTok.
I
It's
watch
TikTok.
Reel.
It's always TikTok.
I just watch Reel and I got the information.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have much information. Being a journalist, he assumes that. So let's finally wrap this up with the last question. In one sentence, can you just let me know what do you think is the future of consumption for young people?
Social media. Social media.
Yeah, it's very with everything like AI and everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Social media is shifting its focus more, for
Yeah.
especially with the youth and the younger generation. They love it more rather than the traditional newses at the moment.
Because of the
So-
fantasy they show.
Exactly,
you know?
exactly. It's the illusion that they show. So it's
Yeah.
always like fascinating the youth, and the youth is a higher population at the moment. So it's of course social media at the moment. And it's so weird that
But I don't want it to happen. I want people to watch traditional media
No,
more.
exactly, because
But
this
the
was what I
thing
was
we
going to
can't change about it. It's just going to be AI. Right now, if you see in our generation, there is all over AI.
Exactly. And what Abhi said is something I would like to link my point with, is that how the younger people, how the younger generation is like having their political beliefs and political views based on what they watch on social media,
Yeah.
rather than actually seeing what's happening. So sometimes there are some good governments as well who do the job, but you cannot really say it's all. There are bad governments as well.
Yeah.
I'm not saying one is good or the other, but it's wrong to form any political belief or any political view based on what you see on the 2 or 3 second attention span. It's very wrong to form any and then have riots and fights and terrorism and everything like that. It's a wrong way to spread that hatred between like any religion or any parties or anything like that. It's like it's a bad place. Yeah.
And as I said, like, even in future, people depend on social media.
Yeah.
Please spread some positivity. Please. Yeah. There's so much negativity in social media everywhere. If it's a positive news, it takes time to spread. But if it's negativity,
It spreads like a fire.
A second, yeah.
Like a fire.
Yeah.
I so do agree with you guys. This has been really insightful discussion. It's clear that platforms like TikTok are changing not just how we consume news, but how we understand it. Whether it's a positive change or something we should be more critical is still up for a debate. Thank you, both of you, for joining me today, and thank you for everyone listening. See you next time, guys.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Hanshi.
Thank you for having
Yeah,
us.
thank you.